Over 7 million illegal cars are being driven on Britain's roads every day.
The van's got no tax, no insurance. We're taking it.
Each year, hundreds of thousands of vehicles are seized.
We need to seize that car. We need to get that car off the road.
It's a bit of a cat and mouse game, so hopefully the cat will win today.
And locked up at one of the country's car pounds.
We are not allowed to let this vehicle leave.
This time, we're on the road with the police.
So the information is drivers tried to run over his ex-partner. Yeah, we'll go block the vehicle in now.
The parking enforcers.
You haven't paid outstanding parking tickets.
And if you didn't, sir, I would really appreciate that.
And inside some of Britain's busiest car pounds.
Do not cancel insurance if you don't hear from customer.
To uncover the shocking,
The allegation is you've tried to run over your ex-partner.
miserable,
It just takes you all back, it's just making me memorise it a bit. I wake up at night as well, seeing the accident.
and downright dangerous drivers committing all kinds of vehicle violations.
It's not just difficult, it's awful.
These
Had me heart going then.
are the highway heroes cleaning up our streets.
Yeah, and they won't release my truck.
And once you've lost your vehicle, if you don't pay the fine, you can wave goodbye
Car's off the road, the person's in custody.
to your wheels
Yeah, police. Police.
for good.
After 14 days, they tell us we can scrap it.
Northamptonshire in the East Midlands of England, home to more than 500,000 people and to multiple car pounds. One of them is Threadgold,
Good afternoon, Threadgold.
run by husband and wife team Stephen and Maureen.
Back's open, keys are on the desk.
They're perfectly placed to work with Northants Police Force on Operation Jaguar.
Don't know how busy it'll be. Keep our fingers crossed.
Okay.
Might get a bit out of it.
For the next 3 days, they're working with a 50-strong team of police officers using automatic number plate recognition cameras to ID suspect vehicles.
From our point of view, yeah, we've got the manpower here, we've got the vehicles here waiting. Be nice to put them to use.
3 miles away, police officers Dave Lee and Dec Ellison are starting their first operational shift. ANPR cameras across the county instantly check vehicles against multiple police, council and DVLA databases, flagging up potential lawbreakers.
Mini in black. Black Mini.
With more than 300 of these high-tech cameras across the county, it's not long before Dave and Dec get their first job.
Sorry, and we were looking for the Mini. We came down to St Peter's Way roundabout. There's no trace for it, mate. It might have gone Black Line Hill into town. I don't know where it's gone, mate.
They stop in a lay-by to plot their next move, when
No. Oh, no, it's behind us. It's behind us. It's going to go past us. So the vehicle in front is hit ANPR. I think there's no tax, no insurance. There's a few offences with it. This is likely to be a seizure then, isn't it?
if it is seized, then it's Threadgold's recovery driver, John, who'll get the job of taking it away.
I've been working for Stephen and Maureen for 18 years and it's like being a part of the family.
John, I need a bigger blade again.
It's actually a laugh.
What, you want coffee and tea? You want me to make you an half and half?
Oh, we're always bantering each other.
Said you're a vandal.
Quite enjoyable, actually.
Okay, so because we've stopped you for a traffic offence, so I need to caution you before I talk to you about it. Basically, we've stopped you because the vehicle's showing up that there's no tax on it, and I think there's also no MOT as well.
The driver finds evidence on her phone of a valid MOT certificate, but that may not be enough to keep her car.
So saying it's not taxed since the 1st of November.
It should definitely be taxed.
Can you bring up your insurance certificate?
God, no, I don't know if I can.
Showing on our systems.
She can't find proof of having paid for car insurance or tax on her phone.
What licence have you got, my love?
Just a normal licence.
Okay.
Full licence.
Yes.
And Dec can't find any proof of her having a full driving licence on his device.
I've had this problem before.
Okay.
Because
only years ago, I changed my name through default.
So at the moment, you're showing as an expired provisional licence holder under the name that you've given my colleague.
No, but I swear on my children's lives.
Okay.
I've had to prove this before.
We'll have a. If you've had to prove, why are you not carrying your licence with you then?
Because I haven't got it. I've sent off for it, and that was about second week in July.
The driver says she applied for a licence in her new name 8 weeks ago.
There's no driving licence linked to that name whatsoever.
I honestly don't know what to say, but on my kid's license, I've got a full licence. I've had it for years and years.
Okay.
I spend my life on my car.
Where we are at the moment, you're showing us an expired provisional licence. There's no insurance on the vehicle and there's no tax.
Yeah.
In essence, it gets impounded and you get reported for those offences. In order for you to get the vehicle back, you're going to have to produce all of those documents.
That's fine.
So I just inform you that you'll be reported for consideration of the question of prosecuting you for the offence of driving otherwise in accordance with a licence and driving a motor vehicle on the road with no insurance. Okay, so do not have to say anything that may harm your defence. Do not mention now, something later on in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence.
As the cops start the legal process for impounding the Mini, John heads their way.
Office assistant has rang me and said that there's a Mini to be picked up with Dave Lee. So I've been en route to get that. I like going out on police jobs. Sometimes it's stressful, debating what you got coming up to, but sometimes it's all right. It is rewarding you taking a dangerous vehicle off the road.
John, do you want to reverse it in? Hello, how are you?
It's thought that there could be as many as 750,000 unlicensed drivers on UK roads.
Do you want me to drive it on?
You can do that. Bit too small for you, isn't it?
Are we lined up right?
Right.
And those unlicensed drivers are 4 times more likely to be involved in fatal crashes
That's right. Straighten up.
compared with licensed drivers.
Go on. We're on.
And crashing this car would be a shame.
We're on one way or other.
Anyone would think I'm a professional. Yeah, you good this side, mate? Yeah, you good this side, mate?
Stopped, seized, stickered and secured. Unless this driver gets her paperwork sorted, her car will be recycled as spare parts. Greater Manchester is home to everyone from wealthy footballers to frontline workers. And that variety is reflected in the cars that pass through the gates here. At the Charles Wilson Pound, many of the vehicles recovered have been targeted by thieves for parts and fuel, and some used in serious crimes. Managing the pound is Ian.
You get a mixed bag of vehicles, to be honest. You get a lot of German cars because they're the most popular cars on the road, but you also get some fantastically beautiful exotic cars, some Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches. You can pull in a £200 scrap car one day and then a £200,000 Bentley the next.
It's 11 a.m. and one of the drivers, Adam, has his first job of the day, but it's not from the top end of the vehicle spectrum.
Well, it's a stolen motorbike in a bush. So whether it's in one piece or whether it's been burnt out, we're not going to find out till we get there.
Former mechanic Adam has been with the pound for 6 years.
Bikes, a lot of hassle for not a lot of gain, to be quite honest. Most of the time nobody comes to pick them up and they're not worth a great deal for scrap.
The bike's been hot-wired, ridden carelessly, and then dumped in a local park. It's a Kimco Agility 50, once worth more than £2,000. But not anymore. Only 1 in 6 stolen motorbikes and mopeds are ever recovered, so the owner might possibly count themselves lucky. It's estimated that nearly 40,000 bikes worth £36 million are stolen every year in the UK. That's 1 every 13 minutes. The badly damaged bike will be kept securely at the pound until either the owner comes to take it away or the salvage guys come to take it apart. There are also usually only two ways that vehicles make it out of the Threadgold Pound in Northampton. They're either collected or crushed. But this Mini, seized for no tax and no insurance, has found a third way.
The Mini is being depolluted, ready for the college to have it.
The owner hasn't come back for it, so it's off to the University of Northampton. At the university, it will be used as a prop to train and educate emergency service students. Before they can use it, though, it must be cleaned out of any dangerous substances.
Oil's out, gearbox oil, engine oil, battery off it, antifreeze out of it, fuel tank removed. Because it's a fire brigade, if it catches fire, they don't know how to put them out.
Do you want to pay cash or card?
Steve's prepared cars for training only a few times since he started working at the Pound as a little boy. He now works with wife Maureen, who runs the office.
You're back. Me and Maureen work together 24/7, we get on fine. Maureen's normally in the office in the daytime, I'm out at the workshop. I'll probably pop in there and get told off.
Make sure you take the right one.
She keeps us on her toes.
The other harmonious double act here at the Pound are Steve and John.
Me and John have known each other roughly for 56 years.
That's how you don't do it.
Every year, around 2 million vehicles come to the end of the road in the UK, and most need depolluting.
Get bolt crop and bolt crop of the handbrake cable. No, I do quite a lot of mechanical work. If something don't work, I'll take it to bits and sit there and fiddle around. It might take me half hour, 3/4 an hour. But John would look at it and just hit it with a hammer and say it don't work.
Anything hazardous that might cause harm if it got into our water supplies or food chains is removed. It's a skilled job, and only accredited places like this Pound are allowed to do it.
Take that around the corner, because I think Neil wants that for his daughters.
And taking things apart
Right here, John.
is what binds these two together.
John, yeah, makes me laugh sometimes, yeah.
Smells like a tart's handbag in there.
You got to have a laugh, haven't you, John?
If you don't laugh, you'd cry.
Yeah. There we have it, 1/2 car. And that's the fuel tank out. Once all the oils are drained, all the oils go to an oil refinery to be obviously refined and used again on other purposes. They used to use it for doing the roads, but I don't think they do anymore. Used to use it for doing the tarmac. Makes my yard a lot cleaner than what it used to be, obviously, because we're draining all the oils and fluids, and some people used to come in, or if we had a smashed car up in it, used to leak oil, it just used to go into the ground. And that is that. That can go back out in the yard. There's my valet parking truck.
Once the university and emergency services are finished with the car, it will take a final journey to the scrap heap. In Rusholme, Manchester, Sean, the owner of a stolen moped, has come to collect it.
Hey, are you okay?
I come to collect one of my vehicles.
All right, won't be a minute, mate. What's your registration number, please?
Yesterday, I got a call from the 101 GMP saying that my moped had been stolen. I didn't feel too good, to be honest with you. I felt a bit sad, a bit depressed that somebody tried to steal from me. But what can I do? Nothing else I can do apart from move on in life.
Right now, moving on means hoping the crew at the Charles Wilson Pound can help him get his bike home. Managing the Pound is Ian, who's been in the business for 15 years.
In the background, as you can see just leaving, is the insurance company salvage agent. They come daily, 2-3 times a day, collect the vehicles that have been involved in accident or theft, take them away to be assessed. Once they've been assessed, they either get repaired by an approved body shop, or they get sold as salvage or broken for parts, depending on what the insurance company specify.
Ian's car pound crew includes recovery driver Gary.
I like the dirty side of the job.
Adam. And another Gary, this one dealing with customers.
Right, Sean, there's no number plates on it.
Well, they took the number plate off?
Yeah, that's what they normally do. I don't know whether it's going to start or not, that's the trouble.
Why, what's actually wrong with it?
I've got a picture of it here. So I presume they'll have done the wire. You see that panel there? They normally pull that out. Looks like that's damaged a bit. Not guaranteed that it's going to run, mate, that's the trouble.
What, so I can't drive it now? Can I not try it?
We'd have to try it to see if it'll start, because you're not allowed in the compound, you see.
All right, yeah, come on.
Just go and hang about over there, let me have a word with somebody.
What they've done is they've taken out the front, hot wired it, started it, and then obviously after it stopped, they've just ripped it apart. And then obviously the police have found it, brought it here, and they've just shown me that it's in very, very bad state. You know, it's not starting, the registration plate has been ripped off.
It's a sadly familiar tale.
With mopeds in general, what you find is it's a massive amount of damage committed in order to steal the vehicle, and generally it results in the vehicle being completely written off, unrideable again. A lot of people come expecting their bike to be able to be ridden away, not realising that the ignition barrel's gone, there's no locks in it, the steering column's being snapped, most of the plastics will be damaged. The damage is actually quite horrific when you consider the amount of money that people pay for these bikes, just for somebody to come along and within 20-30 seconds ride it away.
Sean's insurance company deemed the bike a write-off, so he's been able to buy a replacement moped, which is double locking. In Northampton, John is heading to university with the seized Mini he collected 2 weeks ago, and another car they're lending for emergency services training.
The Renault on the back I probably picked up as well. Obviously, I know it's no insurance. Obviously, they decided that they don't want the vehicle. And it's been signed over for disposal, so... Ah, look at this. You ain't gonna believe it, are you?
And on the way, John stumbles across yet another Mini destined for the pound.
No, something's happened. That's been in an accident, but... I do the fire stations every 6 months. We take cars to them. At the university, I think we do once a year. But then we will have it back and then we'll dispose of it. I can't just abandon it there.
This might be a common job for John, but finding the right location isn't proving easy.
Is this where we get lost now? You watch. Don't do anything. Hello, I've got 2 cars to delivery to car park 3. I can't get through your gate, mate. Okay, mate. All right.
The Mini's final curtain call is in a good cause. Reconstructing a crash to inspire the next generation of emergency workers. On the outskirts of Northampton, the CMG Car Pound team are also on standby to work on a police operation targeting illegal cars. Recovery driver Ashley is making sure the vehicles are primed and ready to go as soon as the call comes in.
Obviously, you have to make sure all our kit's in order first, fueled up, all the trucks are washed and cleaned inside and out. Bit of a free clean.
And just 4 miles away from the pound,
so you're looking for the Volvo V40?
Aye.
Police officer Dave is on shift with his colleague Bradley, and they've just had an ANPR hit.
What one are we going for? I'm going to go for that comments marker. Yeah? I'm going to try and head it off at the top of Kettering Road.
The duo are targeting suspected law-breaking cars.
Don't stop there.
Many will end up being towed by Threadgold and CMG.
GZW. Right, keep an eye out for it. It's going to be coming from the right. Yeah, I'll have to spin back round. I've gone past there already. Right. What is it? A V40? What colour?
V40 grey. Grey blackish. That one.
Got the car. They've passenger has clocked us.
The car they're after is a couple of vehicles in front.
Hey, one on.
Seems to be parking up. I think he knows.
Yeah, quite possibly. Go and have a chat with him, mate. It's stopped of its own accord at where the ice cream vans are at Abington Park. Go on then. Go speak to the driver.
It's just a routine stop check. We're just out in force, checking people. Have you got a driver's license on you? Cheers, thank you.
Hello, bud. All right. Is it your motor? Is it? Is it registered to you? It's your car. How long have you had it for?
3 weeks max.
About 3 weeks. Have you got your insurance? Because it's flashed up on the system as not having any insurance, my friend. So.
It's estimated that insured drivers' premiums are 10% higher because of uninsured drivers,
Was your passenger just stopping to get us all an ice cream?
which averages out at more than £40 extra a year for every insured driver.
Yeah. Was it really? Oh, wow.
While the driver searches for proof he has insurance,
I have to ring my brother and say to him, is that right?
Yeah.
Dave turns detective.
It's flashed up that the vehicle's got no current keeper and there might be document offences, so we're just running it through, checking the licence, insurance and all of that.
Something isn't quite right.
That's him, isn't it?
No insurance.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, this licence isn't valid anyway.
No insurance and no licence. It's time to call the car pound. Earlier, Northamptonshire police officers Dave and Bradley stopped a man suspected of driving without a full UK licence.
It'll be a seizure because he's been here longer than a year.
Whether the driver gets to keep his car or watch it go to the pound depends on one key fact.
How long have you been in the UK for?
I've been for a little while, to be honest.
So, have you got a UK licence?
No, I don't. Because I can't say I'm allowed to drive 1 year.
The driver tells Dave a solicitor told him he could drive on his Albanian licence for 12 months from the date he first insured the Volvo.
The licence is only valid from 1 year from the minute you come into the country, which you've been here a long time.
Yeah, I've been here for a long time.
But so this isn't valid. You have to have a UK licence. You can't drive using this licence.
I'm sure I can for 1 year.
Unfortunately, wherever you've got that from or whoever's told you that is wrong.
I mean, the solicitor told me, obviously, because that's where I got the advice from.
They've given you some properly bad advice then. Properly bad advice.
Then that means I'm in a country.
The driver switches tack, implying that he's not been in the UK for that long.
From the minute you first came into the country, which was how long ago? You say not long ago. I've checked on the system. Come on, don't.
I can't remember when. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to lie. I don't know when.
I know a lot more than what you probably think that I know. Where we are at the moment, this licence isn't valid. I cannot find a UK licence for you unless you can produce one to me.
No, I don't have one.
Okay, so we're going to have to deal with you for the offence of driving otherwise in accordance with a licence then, which will then mean that you'll get reported for that and you'll get a letter through the post, and also the vehicle gets impounded.
Oh, come on.
Because your licence isn't valid to drive it.
So if I get somebody to come and collect my vehicle?
No, it doesn't work like that. No, it goes to £1. Because then that way we've got it recorded and documented who's collecting the vehicle, the checks on the documentation and everything like that.
You made my day hard today.
This Volvo, can you jack up a driving otherwise in accordance with the licence recovery for me, please?
The control room contact Ashley and ask him to tow the Volvo back to CMG's pound.
But there's going to be a lot of people around because it's right next to a children's park. And being this time of day, after school's finished and the nice warm weather, we'll have to be extra vigilant, kids running around and things. So I've been here at CMG now just over a year. You know, I really enjoy my job. People think of it as,
oh, I bet you love doing it, you know, taking cars off the road, makes you feel big and things. It's like, it's not, you know, it's our job. You know, we're just getting paid to do a service. You know, we're just there to pick it up for the police and store it.
Before the Volvo driver and his mate leave, Dave shows them the DVLA website.
Right, so coming to live in GB is when your full licence is valid, you can drive any type of small vehicle shown in your licence for up to 12 months from the time you started living in Great Britain.
Getting your car seized is relatively easy, but getting it back is more complicated.
This is where it's going to, CMG in Northampton. Okay, telephone number, that's a postcode.
You'll be reported for consideration of question of prosecuting you for the above offences. That's being driving without a licence. You don't have to say anything but may harm your defence if you don't mention now, something which you later allow in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, okay?
After a few home truths from Dave.
So, I know you're not going to like this. You can't drive. You need to get a UK licence.
Ashley has arrived to lift the Volvo.
Are you going up and turning around, or do you want to spin it here? You're going to spin round here. One sec, mate. Yeah, they've wandered, well, they've got an ice cream and wandered off to enjoy the park. So it's no licence, it's just straightforward lift and shift sort of thing, but thank you very much.
The driver may be consoling himself with an ice cream, but he might need more than that if his car ends up being crushed. CMG have been in the recovery and vehicle pound business for nearly 50 years. They started out rescuing broken down cars in the 1970s and soon moved on to recovering heavy vehicles. But space in their pounds is increasingly taken up by much smaller sets of wheels, electric scooters. There are more than 1 million e-scooters on UK roads, but most are being ridden illegally.
Come to pick up a scooter.
Ian has come to retrieve his son's recently seized e-scooter.
Yeah, they took it off him on Monday, but they might have been having fun on it around the place.
What Ian's son hadn't realised is that the only e-scooters currently allowed on public roads are those in government-backed trials.
Come to get you to sign, put your name.
Ignorance isn't a legal defence, so Ian's son could get points on his licence. For now, there's just money to fork out.
Now you've got 150 to pay in total. Pay on card.
Yeah.
Luckily, the Bank of Dad is always open.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
With the car pound bill paid, it's time to retrieve the seized scooter.
No, that's definitely not mine. No, let me get the paperwork out. It's the wrong scooter.
E-scooter, EID 134989. 134989.
Well, you see this one, this one's about twice, about 5 times the size of that.
It would appear these have given us the wrong scooter.
I know, it's a big scooter. Have you got no other scooters? It's nothing like that, I can assure you.
Well,
the wheels are massive on it. It's a solar P1.
It's worth nearly £1,000, so Ian has his fingers firmly crossed that they can find it.
She's taking my paperwork and she's going to try and locate where this scooter is. Hopefully they'll come back to me very soon with the right scooter.
Whilst Ian waits to see if he'll ever get his son's scooter back, recovery driver Matthew gets a call from the police.
So we're off out to go and lift a Mini 1 for obstruction, bad parking. Looks like it's blocked the bottom of a road. These roads where we're going are quite tight, so the police have asked us to go in and recover it back to our yard for storage. Oh yes, they've dumped it right in the corner. It's not that bad a parking, really, is it?
Causing an obstruction by parking is not always cut and dry.
Basically, is the car behind me. There was cars parked up there how they normally are, and the bus couldn't get through, but they've since moved. I did call our control room, but they said keep it coming, because if people come back home and they park there again, it's going to be the same problem. Is that right? The alarm keeps going off as well.
Rule 242 of the Highway Code states you must not leave your vehicle in a position where it may cause an unnecessary road obstruction. That may is the important word.
Well, I've got to go beside it, so I'm going to have to
block it.
Yeah, we're going to have to shut the road.
We'll have to block it.
Before it's lifted, Matthew takes evidential photos to show both the state of the car and exactly where it was parked.
First impressions, it's not blocking the road nowhere near as much as I thought it was going to be. If there was cars parked already on the other side of the road and buses trying to get through, then yeah, that would have caused a bit of chaos around there with the sides of the buses as well. There's one sign just over the road there, quite small. Looks like it says no stopping. But as you can see, the whole way up the road, people are parked outside their houses, so if you see everyone else doing it, you're going to follow suit.
Just 2 minutes after Matthew lifts the Mini, its owner turns up and pleads to get their car back. First with the police officer and then with Matthew.
Come on! Yeah, unfortunately it's not down to myself. If you speak to the officer, if she's willing to release it on scene, obviously you do have to pay the charges.
How much is it?
I think, don't quote me, I'll have to check for you, but I think it's 150.
Right.
Obviously now it's lifted, there's nothing we can do unfortunately.
The police officer is happy to agree to the car being released.
If they'd got here before we had, the police would have stood us down, and then the police have to cover the charges for the recovery. If they're here in time, they get away with it. If not, it comes back with us or gets released here on scene with the charges paid. Yeah, they're lucky that they've come back to it here. At least this way they get their car back now. Obviously they've got to pay the charges, but at least they're getting their car back now.
Matthew tells the couple exactly why he was called and exactly why the car was lifted.
So it's about a foot off the curb, and then you think the bus trying to get through in between two cars. So yeah, it's just bad luck. It's just
It is bad luck.
you've caught the brunt of it, unfortunately. Yeah, but at least we're here still. At least we haven't drove off with your car yet. Obviously the lady isn't too happy that we're lifting her car. She understands that we're only doing what the police have asked us to do. It's one of them, she says there wasn't cars parked on the other side of the road when she got here and parked her car. All we know is we've got the job to lift it, and that's what we do. So all we've literally done is loaded her vehicle up, pulled round the corner, and she's going to pay the police recovery charges, and we're going to unload the vehicle here and she can drive away.
The driver may rue her bad luck, but at least her car didn't see the inside of a pound, and everyone's happy about that.
Come to collect the Volvo.
You got your ID with
Yeah.
you?
A Volvo, seized earlier for Operation Jaguar, is being picked up from CMG's Northampton car pound by a new owner.
Super, and it's the Volvo, isn't
Here
it?
with you. Thank you.
It took a while to transfer ownership and arrange pickup.
Just give each time so you take it. It's
Yeah.
just to say you remove it from the compact.
That's fine.
Sign name and address there for me. I'm just going to double check the charge because I didn't look.
No problem.
Yes, that's fine. It's $4.70 to pay.
He's had to pay £150 in recovery fees and more in storage charges, but the Volvo and its new owner can now hit the road
It's all yours, mate.
with all the paperwork in perfect order. Car pounds around the world are holding countless crushed, smashed and abandoned vehicles fallen foul to drink driving. Over 250,000 deaths can be attributed to alcohol-related causes every year. The heart of Operation Jaguar
1141, that's an interesting vehicle, isn't it?
is the Forces Control Room.
Is that it at the back there in lane 1, amigo?
And Officer Dave Lees swapped the front seat of his car for a seat
Roger.
in front of a computer.
3133, there's no insurance on it.
He's also keeping Northampton's car pounds busy.
Has recovery been booked? Yeah, no worries. I'll speak to Threadgold. It's going to be $260 payment at the roadside. Have they got that with them?
Hello?
Hello, morning. It's Dave Lee. You all right?
Yeah.
Got on Billing Road junction with Cliftonville.
A few miles away, officers Luke and Sam have been contacted by the control room.
Yeah, no worries. So it's bottle drink driver, mate, and it is a Ford Transit, yeah.
Where, mate? You see it?
Up there in the distance, I think, mate. There's a white Transit just gone around the corner. Gone left towards the roundabout. On it, straight up.
Every year in the UK, nearly 7,000 people are killed or injured in drink driving incidents.
It's taken a second, I think it is.
Sirens are going and lights are flashing, but this driver's in no hurry to pull over.
X-ray through it, one.
All right, put the window down for me.
Go on. Yeah, copy. You've got an...
You want to take the keys out for me a second, matey?
Yeah, right.
Is there any reason you didn't stop straight away? Did you just not notice us or anything?
No, I didn't notice.
Okay, no worries at all. Where is it you're heading from today? Okay, no worries. And where are you heading to?
Round the corner.
Round the corner. Is it back to home? Okay, no worries.
You had anything to drink today? Nothing at all? Sorry? Come from work. There's some intelligence from today that he's been drinking in a pub. So we'll just get him on a breath test just to check that.
Perfect.
How old are you? So when I asked you if you've had anything to drink, you said no.
Well, I don't remember.
But you have, okay.
What have you had to drink today? Or how much have you had to drink? Okay, when was that?
About half an hour ago.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Because I suspect you may have been drinking, are required to provide me with a sample of breath by means of this approved device. I just need to warn you that if you fail or refuse to provide, then you'll be arrested, okay?
It takes under a minute for the results of the breathalyzer to come back.
Pop this on here for you, and what I need you to do is take a deep breath in and just blow steadily until I tell you to stop. I'll hold on to the device. I'll hold on to it.
At CMG in Northampton, Ian's son had his electric scooter impounded and Dad's just parted with over £150 to get it back.
Can I get you to sign? We can only just say you're picking it up.
3,000 e-scooters were seized in 2021. They're piling up in pounds all over the country, but Ian's one has gone missing.
Sorry, I think there's a little bit of confusion.
Having re-examined the paperwork, the right one is found.
Super. Brilliant, thank you.
Sorry about that, thank you.
There you go. Slightly different.
Just a bit bigger.
A bit. Super. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Ian is taking the scooter back to his son, who'd just started commuting on it before he was caught by the cops.
So he's saved up and bought this himself to sort of get him to and from work. And yeah, he come out of work. He got about 50 yards before the policeman stopped him and took it off of him. So he's a bit disappointed because he worked over a month to get it, which is a shame because, you know, I've had a go on it. They're a great form of transport. They're environmentally friendly. You know, it's going to save a lot of congestion. I think they're a great idea. It's just a shame that, you know, you can't sort of ride them around on the road.
Though all is not lost for Ian's son.
He's bought himself an electric bike last night, and this is going on eBay tonight, so he can comply with the law.
To the east of the town, police have stopped and breathalyzed a suspected drink driver as part of a county-wide op targeting car crimes.
Okay, lovely stuff, thank you. Just pull the tube off for me, because it's got your saliva on it. So what that would do, we'll analyse to check if there's any alcohol in there.
The legal limit is 35.
Okay. All right, so yeah, that's a fail. So at the minute you're under arrest on suspicion of driving whilst over the prescribed limit. So you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention when questions to me later on in court. Anything you say may be given in evidence. All right. we'll pop these on you.
I've never met you before.
Just to the, we'll pop them onto the front, just because we've got to transport you to custody, where we'll do a proper breath test procedure on you. Let me take that and I'll pop that in your pocket.
No, that's why you stop.
We're not going to discuss what's happened because you're under arrest and under caution now, so I'm not going to go through that with you. Have you got the keys?
The suspected drink driver's going to custody, so Officer Luke has to lock up the van before it can be picked up.
Well, I'll just get your vehicle secured, and so, you know, we'll have to leave it here.
The rules are the rules, isn't it? If you make a mistake, you just have to put your hands up and take the consequences. Drink drivers, some of them, they do cause, if they've obviously had a lot of drink, and they do cause accidents and they can kill people. It probably would pay if you could get them off the road, but at the end of the day, it's catching them.
And so, you know, we'll have to leave it here. It's in a safe location, but...
We'll lock it all up and secure it.
The van driver is taken for an evidential breath test.
Cheers, mate. See you in a bit.
This was another arrest that relied on an ANPR hit, but the initial intel came from elsewhere.
It's a good example of the public providing us with information, acting on that and getting a vehicle stopped, which is the whole point of today's operation, is using ANPR cameras and the networks and information and technology we have available to us to get these people stopped and arrested if necessary.
Back at custody, the evidential breath test is complete.
So at the roadside, he blew 47 on the roadside breath test. Those devices are pretty accurate. They're approved by the Home Office. And then when we've got here, probably a good hour after the initial stop, he's actually blown 2 samples of 53 in custody. So his reading's actually going up. That suggests to me that he's been drinking relatively recently and that the alcohol that he's most recently consumed is still being pumped into his bloodstream. So the longer he was allowed to drive, the more risky, I would say, he would be as a driver.
Operation Jaguar led to 26 arrests and the seizure of 44 cars. Together, the Pounds and the police can be very proud of what they've achieved.
It's a great feeling. The end of the day, when we shut those gates, it's a nice feeling that we've done our job for the day. We've taken cars off the road that shouldn't be on the road. The police have done their job, and it was worthwhile. That's right, isn't it, Steve?
Whatever you say, dear, you're always right.
You are a boy.
Next time, serious stress in Silverstone.
Well, you're going to be detained, the vehicle's going to be seized. It is what it is.
And a costly mistake for this driver.
Do not cancel the insurance if you don't hear from customer. So they cost me 6 points, then paid £250, which is a rip-off.